I'll just take anything out that doesn't.
That works.
Okay. Will you get closer to me?
Oh, needy.
Okay, so I guess should I just start?
That's your channel.
Hey you guys, so I'm here today with Alex, and since I've never been able to make a video about stability shoes, I thought I would bring in the Pronation King.
Guy with the broken ankles.
To talk about his favorite stability shoes. Alex is here today to tell us about his favorite running shoes that are stability shoes, and then we'll talk about the difference between a stability shoe and a neutral shoe.
Alright, so the first one we got here, it's not really a shoe I've run for a while, it just has a special place in my heart. It's the Mizuno Wave Inspire. This was the first shoe I ever got fit into when I came into a running store. And it was the first time I'd ever actually experienced my ankles not trying to commit suicide. Is that too dark a joke for the channel?
No.
Okay, so yeah, first time I ever experienced my ankles actually, you know, being held up and being protected. So I will always love this shoe. That and a lot of cushion to it.
And it looks a lot better now, so that's a good thing.
Oh yeah.
They were real ugly. Yeah. They were real ugly.
Current day favorite running shoe is the Hoka Arahi. Another one I have not yet got this model, but I'm a huge fan of cushion, so having this oversized midsole with the rocker bottom has been really helpful, as well as the do a little different kind of stability, so it's a little more natural. It's not throwing my feet to the outside. Because my feet, and you probably saw this on the treadmill running, it's super flat as well as rotating inward. So the traditional posting that's in a lot of stability shoes tends to make it feel like I'm on the outside portion of my foot. Whereas this guy kind of keeps me a little more centered, keeps me right in the middle of the shoe. Feels a little bit more natural, feels a little better. That and all the cushion in there really helps you boy out.
Okay, so Alex, when you are running in neutral shoes, what is something that you notice is uncomfortable? Or because a lot of people always ask, what is the best running shoe? Mm-hmm. And I run in neutral shoes, so I could only give my thoughts on neutral shoes. Mm-hmm. So when people tell you what is the best running shoe, what do you normally tell them?
I mean, the first thing I always tell people, at least when they come in and give me that question, I haven't watched them walk, is that there's really no single best running shoe out there. It's more on an individual basis, what's going to work for your foot, what's going to be the best fit for you as a person. Because everyone's foot's different, everyone runs different, everyone strikes different, and so what works really well for my foot is not necessarily going to work for all of your feet. It's not going to work for her foot, obviously, because we have very, very different ways of running.
So if you wear a neutral shoe to run in, how do you feel? What happens because you overpronate? So
usually mile one, like I've mentioned before, the first thing that'll flare up is my ankles. Those they start screaming at me. They're not happy. And then if I push through that pain and keep going, it travels up to my knees. Those guys start getting a little unpleasant. And honestly, during the run, those are the first two things that pop up. And then the day after, I just notice the entire legs, shins, everything just aches, and it's not a good feeling. And it's a noticeable difference from if I run in a stability shoe versus running in a neutral shoe. That next day pain is just a lot different.
Guys, it's me, Jimena, your girl. So as you can see, Alex is running here in the Brooks Ghost, and if you pay close attention to his ankles, the shoe itself isn't supporting his ankles and it's letting them pivot in, even though it's a brand new shoe. So that's how you can tell that that's not the right fit for him, even though it's a great shoe. So look at him go, ankles turning in. So for people that don't know what the difference is between stability and neutral, could you explain like what the differences are, what the stability shoe does for your overpronation, and why stability doesn't necessarily mean good for everyone?
Well, with a stability shoe,
AKA, I feel like I just made this like all about you. Like, I'm just sitting here.
Well, I'm the one with the jankles. No, with a traditional stability shoe, they've got, let me grab a different one that calls it out a little better. So you look at this shoe and you look at the medial side of it, or just, this side of the shoe. You've got that denser right here, that dark gray piece. It's a denser foam that sits right here in the shoe, in the midsole, so that when you're compressing the midsole and my foot's landing on top of that, it almost acts like a wedge piece. So when my foot tries to rotate inward, that posting is going to prop me back up and keep me more aligned and keep stress off my ankles, my knees, my entire leg, really. The downside of a traditional posting is if someone like her, who's very neutral in the shoe, is going to run in this shoe, when her foot hits that posting, instead of correcting anything, since she doesn't overpronate, it's actually going to throw her foot to the outside. And that'll put a lot of stress on the whole outer chain of her leg there. So she'll get a lot of, anyone dealing with IT band syndrome, or like a lot more stress on the outer metatarsals and the tendons on the outside of your leg. And it's just, yeah, not a good thing.
As you guys can see here, Alex is running in the Bricks Adrenaline, and while his foot is naturally trying to overpronate, the guidance rails are actually putting him back into alignment.
I feel like there was a follow-up to that question.
No, that was it. It was just what the difference is. I think I said why stability shoes aren't good for neutral people.
Oh yeah, okay. So I got both of those.
Because I think a lot of people think that stability shoes, like when they see the word stability or support on a box, they're like, oh wow, like I want that.
Yeah, it always sounds like a good thing, right? Stability, like who wouldn't want to be more stable? But the thing to remember is in the running shoe world, stability is a very specific thing. Of course, that's also why I love shoes like this, because instead of being just a dense chunk of foam all the way through, it's just a frame that wraps around. So instead of, say, overcorrecting someone who is a neutral runner, you can actually run in this shoe if you're neutral. Same with the Adrenaline that I was running in on the treadmill earlier, that has guidance rails on it as opposed to a posting. So instead of, again, wedging someone's foot outward, it acts like a frame to keep you just down that center line, even if you're neutral.
Okay. Well, thank you for... No, stop, seriously, thank you. No, Alex, thank you. Oh, thank you for coming on and explaining to us the difference between stability shoes and neutral shoes. And
that's my pleasure, ma'am.
And showing us your jankles.
Oh, God.
Thank you, thank you. The internet is going to be so excited.
Oh, I'm sure.
There's going to be a lot of compilations afterwards. I'm just like...
I've actually had people watch, like we do fittings where we do the iPad videos, and I've actually had people watch my my videos of running in neutral shoe, and they flinch every time my foot hits the treadmill.
Yeah. People are going to be flinching.
Yeah, it's. I don't notice it because I've done that my entire life. I got that from my mom. Thanks, Mom. If you ever watch this, I probably won't show her this, to be honest. But. Yeah, I didn't notice until I was shown a video of it, and it just looked painful.
Also, you guys, my favorite shoe, the 880, is on sale right now. It's $59.
That's only a promotional deal. We can't advertise that.
Okay, guys. Well, this was really fun and exciting. This is really fun and exciting. The lighting is terrible now, so wow. Gotta go. See you later. Oh my gosh.